Boy, have we got a lot to cover this time. We better get to it. Lots of stuff. Hey, everybody. We're back. Hi, everybody. My name is Randy Tibbins. You know who you are. Come on in, pull up a chair, sit down, relax, and let's talk Dodgers. This is the only video podcast and the best video podcast by fans, for fans of your Los Angeles Dodgers. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And today's November 25th, day before Thanksgiving, so if you're not doing anything, just pull up a chair and hang out with us. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to cover some hot stove news, all that's happened since our last show. That's over a month ago. We're going to talk about some updates coming up, some injury reports and moves, the MLB calendar for the off-season till the end of the year, some fun stuff. So hang with us here on Let's Talk Dodgers. Tell all your friends to write to us, letstalkdodgers@gmail.com. Hang out with us on Facebook under Let's Talk Dodgers. Catch us on YouTube. Let's Talk Dodgers 13 is our page there. And we got all new shows coming up for you. Now, maybe one or two in December when the winter meetings are on, and then January might start weekly again. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens leading up to spring training. Crappy Mike Day. We got our Crappy Mike. Thank you very much, Crappy Mike. We'll squeeze in some fun stuff. As I said, we even have maybe a home run call because I'm kind of itching for a home run call. You need one of those? I need one too. We'll hear a home run a little bit later. All right, let's get into that hot stove news. First of all, the biggest thing that's happened in the last several weeks, as you all know, the Los Angeles Dodgers announced 2 days ago that Dave Roberts has been named the 10th manager in Los Angeles Dodgers history and the 28th in franchise history. Roberts is 43 years old, served as the bench coach for the San Diego Padres the last 2 seasons. Prior to that, he was a special assistant for San Diego's front office in 2010 and the club's first base coach from 2011 to 2013. He filled in as a manager for 1 game this past season when Bud Black got kicked out of a game. So he's got 1 game experience. Roberts, who is of African-American and Japanese descent, becomes the Dodgers' first ever minority manager. Finally, when was that going to happen? It finally did. Roberts was the starting center fielder for the Dodgers from 2002 to 2004. He's the 4th LA Dodger manager to also play for the franchise, joining Tommy Lasorda, Bill Russell, and for a few minutes, Glenn Hoffman, who was an interim manager for a while. Now, this is what they're not telling you in the press, because this hasn't been officially presented to the press. They're going to have a big press conference soon. Roberts is going to get a 3-year deal. No numbers were disclosed yet. And plus a team option for a 4th year. The introductory press conference, the obligatory introductory press conference to introduce him to the fans and the media as a new manager, won't take place till after Thanksgiving weekend. And the team announced this week it won't take place till after Tuesday, December 1st. So it'll be the 1st or the 2nd. I've heard the 2nd. Some people are saying the 1st. Whatever it is, it's not going to be in November. All right, let's get to the other news that's going on here. Whether you like the idea or not, idea of Roberts being the manager, we'll leave that for another show because we got a lot of time to talk about that. Joe Davis was announced as a new announcer with the team. The 27-year-old will do 50 games next season. He was primarily with Fox and I think a little ESPN doing football, baseball, basketball. He did a lot of minor league ball. Pretty good announcer. He's more of a national type announcer in that he's like a Joe Buck type of guy. I hope he's not as bad as that. But I've heard his baseball reel. You can look it up. Just do Joe Davis in YouTube and look it up, his baseball reel. Pretty good. Got some good calls, and he should do okay on the road. 50 games with the Dodgers. All right, another news. Brett Anderson has accepted the Dodgers' qualifying offer and has agreed to a 1-year contract. What's he making, about $15 million? Yeah, I would take that. I think he's going to take it because he's going to prove to everybody else that last year wasn't a fluke. He can stay healthy again. We hope. We hope Brett Anderson can stay healthy again, right? Right? Yeah. Okay. 2 other guys that received quote-unquote qualifying offers. Howie Kendrick and Zach Greinke, of course, have declined the qualifying offers and they continue to be free agents. Word has it that Greinke will probably be offered something really good by the Dodgers and or a few other teams, Cardinals, Giants, whoever. We'll see where he goes. All the Dodgers, I think, have to do is match what the Giants want to give him. He'll stay here, I think, or what the Cardinals give him. Whoever has the highest offer, if we match it, he's staying. If we give him $2 more, he's coming here. So, Dodgers mourned the passing last week of George Genovese, one of the greatest scouts ever, said Tommy Lasorda. He was an exceptional man and one of my best friends. I'm going to miss him. He was 93 years old. He joined the Dodgers in 1995 after being with the Giants since the 1970s. Genovese scouted nearly 250 players, 44 of whom reached the major league. That's quite a record. Guys like Bobby Bonds, Gary Matthews, Gary Maddox, George Foster, Jack Clark, Chili Davis, Dave Kingman, Royce Clayton, and Matt Williams, and on and on. Guy had quite a record. In 2003, the Professional Baseball Scouts Foundation named its Lifetime Achievement Award in honor of Genovese. He wrote a book called A Scout's Report, My 70 Years in Baseball. Amazing. Anyway, the passing of one of the greatest scouts ever, in Tommy Lasorda's opinion, George Genovese. So tip our hats to him. In other news, according to reports, and this is just conjecture, we don't report a lot of conjecture, we like a lot of good rumors, positive rumors. This is a good one. According to scheduled reports during the off-season so far, Kenley Jansen has been working out and has already lost about 12 pounds. That's pretty good. Here's another rumor. I don't know if I have much stock in this because I've seen this guy on TV lately, but the Toronto Sun reported lately that Ned Colletti is interviewed for the Jays presidential job. Reported that in their 11/18 issue. I don't know. Toronto Sun, are you guys right about that? The Blue Jays hiring, well, they interviewed Ned Colletti. I don't know if he wants to become their president and CEO. Who knows? Maybe he does. He's been on Sportsnet LA the last week, so I don't know if he's doing anything. Who knows? Fox Sports' Ken Rosenthal reported Wednesday last week that Darren O'Day is asking for a 4-year deal in range of $28 to $36 million. At the top of the week free agent class for relievers, it's increasingly likely that he'll get it, according to ESPN's Jerry Krasnick. The Dodgers are pursuing O'Day, as you've probably heard, big time, and with their resources, they have the ability to outbid anyone for a player they really want. And there's an obvious need for the Dodgers in front of stud closer Kenley Jansen. They want a guy to give it, work the 8th and not fail, and then give the ball to Jansen in the 9th. So if they can bridge to the 9th inning using a guy like that, why not? It's been pretty shaky lately, so we'll see how it works out with Darren O'Day. He's asking a lot of money, but he may be worth it. He's got I forget what he said, 1.9 ERA in his last 20 starts or something, or his last 20 appearances, so it's pretty good. Sounds like a guy we could use, help shore up that bullpen, at least in that 8th inning to bridge the gap. That's the idea for that. Is it too much money? Maybe, but hey, the Dodgers have a lot of money, so it's okay. Now, as this is a big one, I want to ask all of our watchers, listeners out there, if you're into this, you got to come to this. As announced earlier by the Dodgers, next year's 2016 Dodger Fan Fest at Dodger Stadium will take place Saturday, January 30th. Yeah, I love it. It's one of my favorite times of the year. It's a free event. Oh, by the way, did I mention it's free? Who else is in? I'm up there. I'm there before they announced it. Let's all meet up somewhere at the stadium and hang out a while. Just look for me. You know what I look like. And I might have a hat on, whatever, a big Dodger jersey. I'll be the guy wearing blue, right? Dodger blue. I've been there the last 3 times they've done it. I've had nothing but the best time. Free parking, free admission. Autographs aren't free if you want to buy them. And all the artifacts and goodies and Dodger dogs and stuff you want to buy, that's fine. But getting in there, no sweat. It's really great. I think we had about 20,000 last year. They let you run the bases, walk the bases, whatever. Went with my buddy Mark B. Shout out to Mark B. Come on, Mark B. Yeah. We had a blast. We took some videos. I might even have to post those up. But we had a great time, and I encourage all of you who are in the region on January 30th, got to show up. Let me confirm it again on my computer. January 30th is a Saturday, yes. And it usually starts at like 10 and goes till 3 or 4. A blast. You can't have anything but fun time when you're at Dodger Stadium, just hanging out. Usually in late January, the weather is great, so I can't sell it enough. Great opportunity to hang out on Dodger Stadium's field. Dodger Fan Fest. I'm going to be there. It's going to be fantastic. Updates: the Dodgers have come to terms with Rick Honeycutt on a new 2-year deal worth about $750,000 a year, according to CBS Sports. We know that. So Rick Honeycutt is back. Hey, when you have golden arms like Clayton Kershaw and maybe Zach Greinke again, you got to have a good guy to take care of him. Rick Honeycutt is the best. So I'm glad we got him back. Also, the Dodgers extended a qualifying offer, as we said, to Brett Anderson, Zach Greinke, and Howie Kendrick, and only Brett Anderson took them up on their offer. I mentioned that. All right. Injury report and moves. Kike Hernandez underwent minor shoulder surgery in L.A. on the 6th of November. Just a little cleanup arthroscopic job. Nothing big. He says he'll be ready for spring training, but even before that, he'll be rehabbing in about 6 weeks. And he's here in L.A., and you're going to hear about it at the end of this podcast. We're going to tell you a little bit more about what's going on with some of these guys. I know Justin Turner's in town, too. That's going to be fun. Updates. The Dodgers have come to terms. Wait, we already did that one. Let's see. What else we got? Dodgers extended a qualifying offer. We already got that. Let's see. MLB calendar for the offseason and into 2016. This is important. Major League Baseball has cutoff dates for everything in its realm. all year round. I want to give you the upcoming dates that pertain to the end of the year, since we're coming up to the end of the year. Okay, for example, November 18th through 19th this month was the owners' meeting in Dallas. You probably heard a little about it. Nothing ever happens there. They discuss stuff, but nothing really makes news because no big trades are going on. Nobody's doing any chess playing or horse trades or anything yet. That usually happens later. We'll talk about it in a second. December 2nd is the last day for teams to offer 2016 contracts to unsigned players on their 40-man rosters. There are a few of those. You'll hear about it. It's kind of those do you care things. Do you really care? No, they're usually concerning minor league guys that are on the 40-man roster. Not a big deal. All right, December 7th through 10th is a big deal. That's when you do hear a few rumors and hot stove heating up. December 7th through 10th is the winter meetings, this year taking place in Nashville, Tennessee. It's going to be fun. I know that the Dodgers are going to be covering that. In fact, if you haven't been with us lately, I will tell you again that off-season Dodger Talk is happening every night on their flagship station, 570 AM Los Angeles Sports. And Tim Cates has been filling in for David Vassay, but every night they've been doing pretty good job for about an hour. They take calls and everything. And the next day they put it on, or actually later that night, they put it on their website. You can podcast it and listen to it as a podcast. December 7th is the Hall of Fame Pre-Integration Era Committee through 1946 vote, which will be announced in Nashville. And then the next big thing that happens after the 1st of January. January 6th is the big one. That's the date that when the Baseball Writers Association of America announced their Hall of Fame votes. So we'll hear about the Hall of Fame who gets in on January 6th. All right? We'll tell you more about what's going on in the rest of January and the rest of spring next time on Let's Talk Dodgers. So keep hanging out with us. All right, whenever I do this, it means fun stuff. And there's lots of fun stuff in the offseason. If you heard about this, just happened this week. The Dodgers have just announced that the UCLA and USC baseball teams will once again take part in their 2016 College Baseball Classic doubleheader at Dodger Stadium, which features both teams from that 2013 College World Series Finals, UCLA and USC. And March 6th is when the event is going to take place. Includes a doubleheader featuring Oklahoma and Mississippi State in the first game at 11 a.m. Pacific time before UCLA and USC score off in the second game at 3 p.m. UCLA beat Mississippi State in the 2013 College Baseball World Series in Omaha, Nebraska. So that's why those teams are involved. To purchase tickets, visit Dodgers.com/classic. That's Dodgers.com/classic to find out more about it. The UCLA-USC game will also be televised by the Pac-12 network, so that's kind of cool. The College Baseball Classic began in 2010, has been played each year since, except 2014, with UCLA and USC meeting in each edition. So that's kind of neat for local hometown favorites. I know manager Dave Roberts will probably be there because he's a UCLA guy. He probably loves all this stuff, so that'll be fun. And maybe my buddy Danny T and maybe my friend Lori F would like to come out because they're both UCLA and USC guys. I'm not, but I'll sit in the middle of those two guys and fight it out. Do you need a Dodger home run? Come on. Do you really need a Dodger home run? I'm itching for it. It's been several months since we've heard hey, we didn't even hear a Dodger home run in the playoffs, so I need a Dodger home run. Here's one, let's see, Vince Scully with the call. This is from way back in April, Andre Ethier. Let's check it out.
Charlie Fergus, the left-hander, and there's one down the line and gone. Home run for Andre Ethier.
I love it. I love that kind of stuff. You got to hear it. Makes you feel like there's still some games going, because don't you feel that void? There's no baseball going on. Anyway, that's Andre Ethier's home run from the 14th of April. What else we got going on? We got a 3-page show today. Wow. The rumor mill. Now, this goes beyond hot stove. This is a rumor. I heard a rumor just like 2 weeks ago. I don't know if you heard the same one. I think Bobby K heard the same rumor. That my former co-host is returning for the 2016 season. Wait a minute, don't get excited yet. It didn't happen yet. Just a rumor. I also heard he's a free agent and he's demanding a hefty bump in salary. Hey, pal, me first. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Hey, he could skip town and go play in the Japanese league. I don't know. No, that's not going to happen. But we'll have more on the story later. And Lynn, if you're listening, come on back. We need you. All right. I've had several people tell me this is not a fun show without two guys. Well, I agree. Not my fault, man. He bolted after last season. All right. Before last season. All right. Hot stove situations we'll cover next time. A lot of free agent tracking stuff going on. We don't need much of that right now. We got some shout-outs to happen, some fun stuff. Wow, what kind of shout-outs we got here? Usually people that join the newer joiners to our Facebook page, we like to give them a shout out and thank them for showing up on the scene, checking out Let's Talk Dodgers. And since the beginning of November, all these people have joined us. Diana B., who works at Pizza Hut, I don't know which one, but Diana, she joined us 11/4. Also, Selena G. joined us October 29th. That goes back a few more weeks. Welcome to you both. Also, more new likers. Loro Antonio. Ken Matthews, a friend of Eric Carabel's. Yeah, give him a shout out. Eric Carabel is the guy that does the fantasy baseball deal for ESPN. Great podcast. And he used to do Baseball Today podcast, which I dearly miss. Now it's Baseball Tonight with Buster Olney, different scene. But Eric Carabel, shout out to him too. And Carabel's buddy, Ken Matthews. Thanks for joining us, Ken. Say hi to Eric for me if you see him. And also some lady named Jessica joined us. Thanks, guys. Great to have you on board on the Facebook page. And Facebook says we had 10 likes just this week. Pretty good for an off-season time period. There's 4 more. Let's see. Paul, Daniel, Ryan C., and Brian H. Thank you, all of you, for joining Let's Talk Dodgers, the best and only and first video podcast by fans, for fans of your Los Angeles Dodgers. Stats. Let's do some stats of the day. And you probably say to yourself, Randy, how can you do stats? There's no stats. There's no games. But the sabermetrics guys are always digging into some. And, of course, the Dodgers are making a few stats of their own in the offseason. They showed up at the MLB Urban Youth Academy at 3 o'clock in the morning, Tuesday this week. Some people waited 7 hours to get their free turkeys at the 11th Annual Healthy Family Update and Turkey Giveaway, a community event that started, over 10 years ago, 2004. They started with 300 turkeys given out to low-income families. In 2015, here comes the stat now. In 2015, just this week, the number has risen. This week, the Dodgers gave out 11,000 turkeys and goodie bags. Wow! So the members of the local community and politicians joined with the Dodgers and the baseball community to help hand out turkeys and goodie bags. This year's former Dodgers taking part were Billy Ashley in his first time doing this event. He had a blast, he said. Tim Leary's second time, and Lee Lacey, an old pro at this. The last stat here on this, the event was scheduled from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., but things went so smoothly, and the Dodgers had this thing so organized, so wired in, the whole thing ended at noon. Wow! 11,000 turkeys and goodie bags in 2 hours. That's amazing, guys. Congrats to you, and thanks to the Dodgers for helping out with the committee. That's your Dodgers at work, helping out in the committee. Way to go. 11,000 turkeys. You kidding me? That's a lot of gobble gobble. All right, this date in Dodger history. Now, if you look on a Dodgers website, you will not find a date in history. They go blank, they go dark during the offseason. But not here at Let's Talk Dodgers. We give you this date in Dodger history, and we'll find one if it's happening somewhere. On this date, it's the only one I can find, and you know what's one of my favorites. On this date in Dodger history, November 25th, 1972, Los Angeles Dodger first baseman Wes Parker captured his 6th consecutive Gold Glove Award. Yeah, baby. And you know what? He retired before the 73 season. He just didn't want to do it anymore. Heart wasn't in it, I guess. And the Dodgers actually kept him on the staff and released him at the conclusion of the 73 season. He didn't even play, but they had him on the roster. And then at the end of the year, they said, all right, we'll give you a release. He just didn't want to play anymore. He was burned out. But that doesn't happen today. And the guy was like 32 or something. Today, people play more for the money. But in those days, you didn't have to worry about that. He wasn't getting that much money as far as what we're used to today. And the guy was pretty well off anyway. He came from a pretty rich family. But Wes Parker, I met him several times. Great guy, very humble guy, and he still takes part in a lot of community relations stuff with the Dodgers. So tip of the cap to Wes Parker, who on this day in Dodger history got his 6th consecutive Gold Glove Award. All right, events, cool appearances, neat stuff. Don't forget to check out John Su, who's outstanding photography. He still covers the Dodgers in the offseason, so check him out at dodgersphotog.mlblogs.com. And a hot tip for all you autograph seekers. Are you ready for this? This is something new. This hasn't happened before. The Dodgers have just announced something new called Blue Friday. You heard of Black Friday? We got Blue Friday coming up the day after Thanksgiving. That's November 27th this week. The Dodgers announced specials up to 50% at the gift stores. That's Top of the Park gift stores and some of the others that might be open. And autographs in the afternoon from Al Ferrara, Justin Turner, and Tommy Davis at 12, 2, and 4, respectively, on Friday the 27th. Yeah, I'd go out there just to see Justin Turner, man. That'd be cool, kind of cool. So that's a good one. That's coming up Friday, so I hope you get to check that out. If you do check it out, write to me and let me know how it went. I don't know if I'll make it out there. Also, coming up on December 5th, I don't think we'll have a chance, again, to talk about this. In fact, I'm going to have to get to this. Jerry Royce, Don Newcomb, Todd Hollingsworth, December 5th at the Frank & Sons Collectible Show, 19649 San Jose Avenue in the City of Industry. That's going down December 5th, time to be announced. But those guys are all signing out there. I'd love to go get Jerry Royce's book signed because I have a copy of it. Very cool. And you know what's going to be happening? Pretty soon, it won't be long.
Well, it won't be very long before we hear the familiar and comforting sounds of Mr. Scully calling the action on the field. We can't wait.
Yeah, you're not kidding. We can't wait. But even if you can't wait, don't worry, because Let's Talk Dodgers is going to be here throughout the offseason. We'll be back in probably several weeks after the beginning of the year, or excuse me, after the beginning of December, because we want to get you into the winter meetings and talk about what's going on there. If there's any chess playing, horse trading, hot stove action, we want to get you in on. Anyway, that's going to do it. This is Randy. Hope you come back next time. Pull up a chair, sit down, relax, and let's talk Dodgers. Tell all your friends. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you before the next holiday comes. All right? Bye, everybody. Gobble, gobble. Happy Thanksgiving.